Everybody, welcome to the Aaron wishes we're talking about Malachi Black show, but no, it's 50-50 booking. Anyone who's been watching this for a long time will get their reference. Anyone who knows Aaron personally also will understand. So yes, 50-50 booking this week. Obviously, we're covering all the normal shows, but we're also going to do Money in the Bank predictions because that is tonight.
Yeah, and as far as Money in the Bank's concerned, with the clip that WWE put in on their social media about an hour ago, with Brock Lesnar getting the Money in the Bank briefcase, it's safe to say WWE might be foreshadowing a big return.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Please not a 2019 do-over.
Well, we will just, once we get to Money in the Bank, obviously we will talk about that a bit more. So, but unfortunately, like every week, we do have to start with Raw.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way it works.
I feel like Raw this week.
Yeah, that was a ringtone, by the way, YouTube, so don't be trying to demonetize anyone. Thank you very much. Right. Also, before I forget. Kill off some of the shine, because I noticed I was quite shiny, is it? So hopefully that should fix that.
Hello.
Hello.
That was the mother.
Ah.
She's out for her friend's birthday. Yeah, as I was saying, I feel like with SmackDown having its first show with a live audience.
Yes, like we were going to touch upon, but yes, by all means.
It kind of felt like this week, like it didn't feel right having the last show being their flagship show in the Thunderdome.
Well, that's the thing, though. Raw's no longer the flagship show because once Fox got SmackDown, it's now SmackDown.
Which is really still strange considering that Raw is still 3 hours.
Raw is also the older show by quite a ways as well. Raw started in 93, for those who don't know. SmackDown was like 98 from memory.
Yeah.
So there is quite a big gap there.
I mean, SmackDown just made me realize how much I've missed like the live audience, because their reaction just says a lot more and makes the show a bit more entertaining. I mean, it's made my transition into the other show quite easier as well, because I've enjoyed it a bit more watching it.
Yeah, they've had live fans for longer on the rival promotion, shall I say. I also saw a bit of Impact Slammiversary, and they had limited fans as well, and it does make a big difference.
I mean, it goes to show you how much people like are against heels and aren't against faces. It just goes to show what the people actually think instead of their pre-recorded boos and "you suck, you suck, you suck" played over and over.
They still tried piping in sound though on SmackDown.
They did. I was going to touch upon that.
Yes,
kind of cheating and cheap.
Yeah, that's not good, because when you got a crowd and it's obvious they're not doing what you're piping in, that's bad, because then we know you're cheating.
Yeah.
It's one thing doing that when the Thunderdome was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like when you want people to do it and you think that in the Thunderdome it's going to work, because when live crowds come back, they're going to think, oh, it's been boos on the TV, we should boo as well. But in actual fact, people have their own opinion, and WWE don't account upon that.
Oh no, they don't care is what it is.
Yeah.
It's one man's opinion that matters, and it's, we're going to do the shit I like, and I don't care about you people.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So Raw started off with a recap of last week's main event,
Yeah.
and then we got Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley again.
Yeah. Still not mad at it, though, because they're both really good wrestlers.
Yeah, and I understood it for the most part, like the rematch, because obviously Bobby probably wasn't happy with how it ended last time. But then
Yeah.
Xavier Woods got the win again anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Way to make your champ look good on the last Thunderdome appearance.
Also,
I mean, that's
it's also the last Raw before Money in the Bank as well.
Yeah, it's no disrespect to Woods. Like, he's an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
But Bobby's the champ. He's supposed to have that like good side, and he's supposed to be the almighty Bobby Lashley. Yet he's getting beaten by Kofi's tag team partner. And if they'd have turned this into, okay, well, Xavier Woods has got a win over Bobby now. Let's turn it into a triple threat match. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That makes things a little bit more interesting. And if they're going to turn this into, well, Kofi loses tonight and Woods comes up and says, hey, I beat you, I pinned you, where's my championship match? I'll also be interested because it would be like a good like side road. But then who's to face Bobby next after that?
And then there's a third option, depending on what happens in the Money in the Bank match. If Big E wins the case, there's a draft coming up.
Yeah. And there's been quite a lot of people saying about the draft and how they want the New Day reunited on the same brand because it's what's best for business. More what's best for merch. But
I was going to say, it's what's best for merch, and not being funny, they do sell a shitload of merch.
They do. And the merch has gone down a peg since the split of the New Day.
Oh, yes, it is.
Because obviously Big E's got his own line of merch now, and that's selling, but not as much as the New Day merch sold as a whole when they were together, obviously, because it's 3 separate wrestlers.
Yeah.
And of course, the revenue doesn't come under the same,
Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons why it's going to work less well.
Yeah. So, yeah, Xavier Woods got a win over Bobby Lashley.
I mean, this, to be fair, though, to Bobby Lashley, this leads to something for Lashley, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and after the match, they had the MVP segment, and he pretty much had the tail in between his legs. And later on in the show, we had the VIP lounge, where Bobby Lashley lost his shit.
Yeah.
And said, I'm done goofing around, enough of the Lashley's ladies. Let's get back to business. And I was just like, thank you, finally.
Yeah.
Like, good.
I think this is the idea to set him up so he was like this for when he faces Kofi at Money in the Bank. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, Kofi's not somebody to take lightly. We've learned that from his match
against
Bryan. We've learned that from his history with Randy Orton. He's beaten Kevin Owens on more than one occasion as well.
There's plenty of people you can go to can tell you.
Yeah, and he's a hard worker as well. He's not a part-time. He's not part-time by any means. He's like always committed to whatever championship he's going after, whether it be Raw Tag Team Championship, Intercontinental Championship, United States. He's done it.
Yeah, basically, if Kofi's not there, it's because he's injured. Otherwise, you'll always find Kofi's about somewhere.
Yeah, it's the same. He's got the same work ethic as like some of the all-time greats, like Randy Orton and Macho Man. If he wasn't there, it was because he was injured.
Yeah. The only other reason for particularly mentioning those two is it's storyline based absences. Obviously, then they wouldn't be around for those. But other than that,
yeah, it's the same goes for Randy Orton at the moment. He's not on brand because of certain reasons.
Yeah.
Reasons that we probably can't go into.
We will not go into now. Not the place for it. And if people don't know what they are, I'm not telling them.
No. And I mean, the Alexa segment was okay afterwards, to be honest. But with Eva Marie and Doudrop,
Pipe in Evan.
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Alexa versus Eva just for the comical side of it.
Yeah, I think this is where this is going, in all honesty.
Well, I mean, if they don't like see each other this evening, I'm sure they'll see each other on Monday night, depending on what happens tonight in the Money in the Bank match. And I've got a guess as to what's gonna happen this evening in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
And
obviously
I'm hoping it happens.
Obviously, we are going to touch upon these when we get to that, because the last thing we'll do on the show. So,
yeah.
Which, as you mentioned, this Eva Marie and Piper Niven were on Alexa's playground. Blah 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 blah.
They never got introduced though, which was kind of funny. Eva kind of turned her nose up at the fact and said, "I'm never coming on here again," and Alexa was just like, "Good."
That was my response too. Oddly enough.
I was hoping when Eva Marie came back, she wasn't going to come back as the same Eva that we had 6-7 years ago or whatever it was. But we've got exactly the same thing, except now she has a bouncer. That is a very talented wrestler who's been given a stupid nickname. Piper Niven.
That's not the nickname, by the way. That's her actual name.
But yeah, the Alexa segment was okay. It wasn't the best Alexa playground that we've seen.
It's what you expect, obviously, from the two people involved.
I mean, I hate to say it, but they're turning it into a bog standard Miz TV. But at least Alexa doesn't get beaten up on it. Her guests are normally afraid of her.
At least that makes sense.
Storyline wise, yes. But when you
That's what I mean. Storyline wise,
all of her 5'0" glory, it kind of is.
Yeah, you say that, but trust me, there's plenty of short-ass women who kick the living crap out of you.
Oh no, I don't doubt that. I've got nothing against them, like at all. But
it's a case of I'm not particularly picking on you, but I'm making a point. Sometimes just because somebody's small doesn't mean they can't fight.
No, I know that. You know that.
Yeah.
The world knows that.
Oh, hopefully it does.
Seeing people outside of wrestling, like I've seen Alexa outside of wrestling, she's not that kind of person, like scary.
No, she's just a normal everyday woman who just enjoys herself. She has a few eccentricities like most people do. That's it. She's a normal person.
Yeah, I mean, she had a pet pig, so
yeah. Unfortunately, no longer with us, and a lot of people took the mickey out of that, and I thought that was out of order. Just because you don't understand having a pet pig doesn't mean it's a bad thing to have one. She clearly loved it. She clearly enjoyed it. She took care of it. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
So, some people are just really bad.
Mm-hmm. So moving on.
Speaking of really bad.
Either someone's made a comment or are you gonna make a joke?
Oh no, I'm talking about Jinder.
I wonder how much it cost to get his motorcycle fixed.
Nothing. It was a prop bike.
It looked like a nice prop bike, though.
Yeah, they do make some decent prop bikes. They used to make them for Undertaker and Hulk Hogan as well at various points. They can do those. They can do a nice job at that.
I don't understand why he has a bike. Like, Jinder's not... His character isn't the motorcycle type. If he had, like, a Rolls Royce or something like that, then fine. Something like that.
You wouldn't get a Rolls Royce because it's too much like Alberto Del Rio, and nobody wants to be reminded of Alberto Del Rio.
No, but I'm not saying a Rolls Royce. I'm just saying a car like
that. But that kind of car. Yeah.
Car.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
It's like, he doesn't seem like the laid-back kind that would ride a motorcycle. I think WWE just went for one of the cheapest options.
Yeah, also, much easier to destroy and doesn't cost as much to make a replica to break and stuff. But mind you, at the same token, why does Drew have a sword?
It's the Celtic Claymore sword.
Yeah, which apparently he has a copy of.
Yeah. No, in WWE, they probably have more than one.
Oh, they do, because that actual sword is Vince's.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he probably made copies of it. But the actual original one, for those who don't know, actually belongs to Vince McMahon.
I mean, the Ginger and McIntyre segment, it worked for me. It was funny. It was like something like, you're like, oh, well. You kind of knew that was going to be like a replica.
Oh, yeah, it was
broken on there. It's just like...
Yeah. I mean, you're completely right. It worked. But it was stupid. But it does work.
Yeah. And storyline-wise as well, it just adds fuel to the fire. Whether or not we're going to see this on Raw, whether or not we're going to see this at a pay-per-view for it to culminate is another question entirely.
Yeah, never know.
So that led us to the fatal four-way between Nikki, Alexa, Naomi.
Didn't she have a chat with Riddle first?
Which one?
Nikki.
Yeah, she did. Pre-match, yeah.
Yeah. So, because I'm pretty sure I remembered that. So, yes, Nikki A.S.H. And I've been told specifically to call her that because that's apparently what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this came directly from Big Damo, and he would know.
Yeah.
I saw an interview. I saw him being interviewed, and this was asked of him.
Yeah. So, yeah. Alexa disappeared in the Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah.
Halfway through. So it became a triple threat or a free-for-all, you might say?
Yeah.
And then Nikki got a win over them both. And a pin over Oscar as well, which was a bit... Well, okay then. If you're going to have her pin someone in the match, I would have thought it would have been Naomi. But Oscar works. It gives her the momentum, like even more of a momentum boost, and kind of makes her look like the favourite.
Well, I said, if you're trying to build up Nikki, this is a good way to do it.
Well, yeah, and especially with the stuff that's been posted on like social media and Instagram and stuff like that, she's constantly posting pictures that people of her fans have been drawing of her with the Money in the Bank briefcase and everything like that.
Yeah. So
it ties in nicely, and it's interesting. Plus, also, where did Alexa go?
Back to catering to get a coffee.
Yeah, probably have a chat with Bray while she's there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nikki Ash got the win in the Fatal 4-Way, which was good. That was an up from me.
Yeah.
Then the Viking Raiders had their segment.
Yes, and this, of course, leads into singles matches as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Viking segment was literally just Viking hype, and to be honest, it was cool. The way the promo they gave, though, kind of makes me think the guy that's writing Drew McIntyre's promos are writing their promos too.
Probably.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, they're going to assume Vikings are the same as Celts and just put them all together. Because WWE doesn't understand history outside of America.
Which is kind of shocking, considering all the history museums they have.
You'd also think that Vince McMahon, being of Irish descent, he would know these things, but there you go.
You'd have thought so.
I would. He doesn't, but I would.
And then AJ segment in the ring, typical heel mic work, and to be honest, it worked. But I mean, it was just heel on mic, and
yeah, it was heel stuff to get heel to do stuff to bring out face to have match. Yeah,
it was like a little bit of a time-consuming. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it didn't hurt anyone, but at the same time, it was like it didn't do anything either.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to Ivar versus AJ.
Yeah,
because like it's not two people that you see in a match very often, which
Right.
makes things interesting, and it's a
Let's be
clash of
honest.
styles as well.
Well, to be honest, either of the Viking Raiders against AJ is fine.
Yeah,
It's when you throw Omos and you got an issue.
yeah, and I mean the Ivar versus AJ match was a good match on both sides, and quite
There's a shock.
yeah, I mean, like, it was quite a good win for Ivar as well. Like,
Yes.
I was shocked that he got the win over AJ, but I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't upset about it. If anything, I was actually quite happy, even though it does make AJ look a little bit.
Well, AJ is prone to having lapses of judgment and issues. It's in character, so it's okay for him to have these kind of things happen.
Yeah, I'm hoping that WWE aren't turning AJ into the next Dolph Ziggler.
Well, AJ's character as well was also known for his temper, so that's another thing.
Yeah, and he got sat on and lost.
Yeah, and that of course leads to the other two members of these teams having a singles match as well.
Yeah, Omos and Eric. Now, this was quite a one-sided match in favor of Omos.
And nowhere near as good as the previous match.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it actually worked, and Omos actually used the Punjabi plunge. And for people who don't know, that was the Great Khali's finisher.
At least it makes sense for him to use a move like that.
I mean, for a guy his size, there's not many moves that he can use, like choke slam, Punjabi plunge, tombstone if he wanted to, but let's face it, a rookie not going to be doing that kind of move.
No, those certain types of pile drivers are banned for other people to use them unless they can prove they can do them safely. And he's clearly too inexperienced for that.
Yeah, and I mean, a Punjabi plunge isn't exactly the worst thing to use, but I'm actually anxious to find out what they're going to name it. Spike's now the Nigerian nail. What's the Punjabi plunge going to be called? The Giant's Fall?
The big mistake. You don't want one.
Yeah.
It'll be some dumbass name more than likely, unfortunately.
The Phenomenal Fall.
I tripped and slipped.
The Descent is good.
I put my spike the wrong way.
Long way down.
Snakes and ladders.
Let's get ready to crumble.
Yeah. Up, down, up, down.
Up, down, 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 down.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
yes.
After these two matches, which were actually all right matches, like, in all fairness, not much on the Omos side of things, but he's still fresh, so we'll let him off this one, I guess.
You don't expect brilliance from him, but it wasn't dreadful either. It just wasn't good.
No. I mean, you don't exactly expect him to be the caliber of, say, someone like Braun Strowman or something like that.
Well, you wouldn't expect him to be up to the caliber of the other three people that were involved in this angle, because AJ's well experienced, and the other two I've got more experience than he does.
Yeah, of course. So then we had the Sheamus segment. I mean, it was okay. He kept to his character and worked.
Whinging to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then you had the New Day segment, which was also good. And then you got a cut backstage, and Sheamus was beating up Carrillo before the match. See, I called this happening. I was just like, after he'd finished moaning to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, I was just like, yeah, he's going to go find Carrillo and beat his ass up.
It was kind of obvious, but as you point out, yes, it leads to a match. So they go out in the ring, they have a match. This is for the US title, by the way. See,
I thought when Sheamus beat up Carrillo and Priest was there, I thought we was going to get Priest. Somebody says, oh, Carrillo can't compete. Priest take the spot. But no, we ended up having a 5-second match.
Yeah, but you gotta get your match, and then of course you got to bring your guy into the angle. You can't just have him walk up and go, "I want a match," because that's silly.
Yeah, I mean, what we got legit was a bro kick for a match. Creo came out, they rang the bell, bro kick, 1, 2, 3, done.
Daniel Bryan can relate.
Yeah, it was like a flashback to WrestleMania 31? 31? I think it was 31. Anyway, yeah. And then I think Sheamus tried to hurt Creo some more, and Damian Priest's music hit. He ran out, saved him, and
Yeah.
Sheamus and Priest had a stare off. Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen.
They're gonna kiss.
No, this is WWE. They hug it out.
Be a star.
So then, after the Sheamus and Carrillo kerfuffle, we had Riddle and Ricochet in a segment.
Yes.
Which, as we've learned from the past God knows how many weeks, any segment with Riddle in it is the comedy segment of the show.
Also, if you're going to have a segment with somebody who's high, have it with somebody who is usually high.
Yeah. And I mean, I actually felt it when Morrison ran Riddle's toe over with Mrs. Wheelchair. I was like, oh, ouch.
Yeah,
I've had that happen to me.
Yeah, that hurts. For those who've never had it happen.
Especially when Riddle's got an ankle injury. He's got to make it look good, and he did.
Just give me a second. That needs to turn the light on, otherwise I'm going to get too dark.
But I was born in the dark. Unlike certain WWE stars, they was born in catering. Welcome to Casa del Peter. Population Peter.
Huh?
Huh?
I didn't hear you.
I know.
I heard you say population me, so I listened back to this, so I'll find out what you said.
Welcome to Casa del Peter. Population Peter.
I would hope so. A bit weird if it wasn't.
I don't want to mention the skeletons in your closet.
You can't see the closet. The closet's over here.
So, yeah, that segment led to Ricochet versus Morrison, Falls Count Anywhere. And let's face it, it was going to be a high-flying highlight reel, and that's exactly what we got.
Yeah.
But to be honest, a well-deserved win for Ricochet. I mean, after 2 weeks of count-outs, we needed a precise victory, and that's what we got.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. And then we had Natalya and Tamina segment, which was not necessary in the slightest.
Yeah, we're going to go on about Natalya and Tamina when we get to another show.
I mean, what happened the previous week? Why did they even bother to show their face on Raw?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Natalya did actually have to turn up.
Yeah, but so you didn't need a segment in there.
Oh, no. No, the segment was completely stupid. So, yeah.
And then we had a McIntyre segment, which was wacky. Which seems to be the norm now.
I am Wacky Drew.
Yeah. And then Rhea's pre-match threat to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Promised to break Charlotte's leg. How original.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte jumped Ripley after the match with Natalya.
Yeah.
And Ripley got her leg locked in the figure four, and she got dangled off of the apron for it as well, which adds the extra talk. And obviously we're going to have to think, oh, that's going to really hurt her leg. That might come into play this evening.
Charlotte thinks she's Bret Hart, but doesn't do the move anywhere near as good when it comes to moves like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to do those sort of figure fours off of ring posts or hanging off the ring out the sides, Bret Hart's the person to watch do that. He's very, very good at it.
Mm-hmm. Then... Oh, actually, I feel like we've kind of brushed over this. The Natalya versus Rhea Ripley was actually probably the match of the night.
I was going to say, did you actually want to talk about the match?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a really good match, like between Rhea and Natalya.
Yeah, shock horror. Two good women wrestlers have a good match.
Yeah, but I feel like it was just like undershined. For me, the way it was put in the night, it could have been put elsewhere. Hell, it could have been main event if it wanted to be.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. They tend to do this a lot.
But booking.
Yeah.
So then, after the really good match, which was probably match of the night, probably top 3 of the week, we had the VIP lounge, which we've already talked about. So blah 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 blah.
Lashley throws stuff, blah blah blah. Threatens Kofi, blah. There we go.
Yep. Which is what he should have been doing from the start. None of the pimpish bullshit that he's been working on.
Yeah, sisters aren't easy.
No. But still. I mean, is this the last we're going to see of Lashley's ladies? Probably not. But we'll probably see them in NXT next couple of years.
Maybe they'll get traded.
Drafted.
No, traded. You know, they seem to like trading main roster people for NXT wrestlers who can't do anything.
If they're on the release list next week, that'd be funny. Lashley's ladies released. Oh no.
Yeah, they got a 30-day non-compete. Yeah, and you know why that's funny. I'm not going to explain it for those of you who don't know. Watch last week's show.
So that was it for Raw.
Yeah, which means you need to give it a rating.
4.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it might be better next week with the live crowds back, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah, also, we'll see how they deal with 3 hours.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Because so far, the crowds have only had to do with 2-hour shows.
And so far, they've been using segments to cover stuff, which means if they do that on a 3-hour show, people might start leaving after the second hour.
Right.
Get more matches in there and less segments, maybe.
Yeah, I think the
to stay.
I think as far as the crowd goes tonight for Money in the Bank, and I'll just touch upon on briefly, I think the crowd will be fine because it's a big pay-per-view, which people like. People like Money in the Bank matches. I think that's going to help it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can see helping it.
Yeah, not the Raw Women's, not the Raw Women's title match, but yeah.
No, that's probably going to be the match where they all get their popcorn. Or toilet break.
Or as they used to call it, the piss break, yeah.
It's the piss match. And it shouldn't be. It is.
Or back in the territory days, it's called the Let Me Up match.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So NXT would be next.
And we had the now solo flying Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai.
Wow. What happened to her partner?
No idea. Milk carton job, I think.
Mm-hmm. Psst. Check out SmackDown.
Yeah. It's not hard to miss.
No.
But keep your feet out of the way. That tank is lethal. Just ask Robert Stone.
Yeah, just you think how bad that wheelchair is. It's nothing compared to that tank.
So, well, I had nothing against Ember versus Dakota Kai, because obviously they had like this a bit of a feud / annoying thing going on.
Well, yeah. Also, they are two good wrestlers. Imagine that.
The problem I had wasn't with the storyline; it was with the actual match. Because Kai was under the rope when she pinned Ember Moon.
Yeah, she's breaking the plane of the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. So the match never ended. It's actually still happening.
Yeah, referees miss those sort of things all the time.
But they got it plain as day on the camera angle.
Right, but here's the
see that the foot was under the rope as well. So I'm just like,
well, here's the thing, right? The referee knows who's supposed to win, and clearly the referee has just decided to ignore it. The talent is screwed up. There is what's happened. It's not actually the referee's fault.
I know. It's just I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, it's bad. It's sloppy.
I mean, it was a great match.
Yeah.
At the end.
Well, that's the thing. Like with most things, you could watch nearly 2-hour movie for like an hour and 50 minutes of it. It could be a great film. But if the last 10 minutes are crap, it's the last 10 minutes you're going to be talking about.
I mean, this happened on one of the main roster shows a little while back. I'm pretty sure it was SmackDown when it was Naomi versus Lana.
Yeah, and you got it.
Lana actually posted it on social media that her shoulder was up because a fan had actually pointed it out on social media. And she got into trouble for it backstage with creative.
Of course
she got a match out of it. But in the match, it ended up being a 5-second match where Naomi made her tap out. Lesson learned. Lana didn't post anything on social media about that one.
Yeah. By the way, for those of you who want to know about stuff happened to Lana, check out her appearance on Chris Jericho's podcast. She goes in depth about such things.
So after this match, we had something interesting happen. Xia Li's music hit.
Yeah, she came out.
She came out.
But
past Dakota Kai and challenged Gonzalez.
Yeah.
No contendership, no nothing. And apparently we're getting the match next week. So where's the storyline build up? Where's the promotion for it?
Well, here's the thing. Apparently WWE, you don't need to earn anything. You can just walk up and say, I want that.
I mean, the only thing I can say is that Xia Li beat Mercedes Martinez, which was the person who challenged Gonzalez last.
Okay, but that would be an argument to it, yeah. But that was never a number one contenders match or anything.
No. And there has been no number one contenders match for it. There's been no contenders because Toni Storm has been drafted to SmackDown. Not drafted, taken to SmackDown. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think you'll find she's just been taken rather than anything. But yeah.
Yeah.
Although, in all fairness, good luck to Toni Storm. I hope she does very well.
Yeah, me too. But she's not going to be competing for the NXT Championship now.
I would think not.
Wanted to. And who else is there really, apart from possibly Dakota Kai, if she was to turn on her best friend? They've got upcoming.
Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, but with their tag team thing at the moment and the whole index thing
as
well.
You said who else there was. I'm just thinking of women wrestlers.
Yeah, I understand that, but like storyline wise, that everybody's in their own individual storylines. You've got also tag team titles and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, obviously not a liar.
No.
Don't worry, we will get to that because I have some things to say about this.
Yeah. Xia Li challenges for Gonzalez for the NXT Championship next week. No story line, no build up, no nothing. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Whether or not we get a new champion could be interesting.
I think it could be an interesting match, though.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Xia Li does get the win and then Gonzalez goes up to main roster, because we've seen things like that happen before.
We have.
Then we had a Diamond Mine segment, and Fish wanted Strong, apparently, for some reason. Like, Strong hasn't done anything to Fish.
I don't know. Maybe whatever it was just undisputed.
Possibly. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, Roddy didn't do anything bad. He left when Fish was injured. Didn't hurt O'Reilly. Didn't hurt Fish.
I got it. Maybe Strong made an error.
Maybe. Yeah, the Diamond Mine seems cool. I like the lineup. I like the fact that Fish is challenging them, but at the same time, I'm kind of questioning as to why. What's he got against them? I don't know.
There's no obvious motivation. It does make sense.
Yeah. Then we had Cameron Grimes' debut as the Butler. And it kind of backfired on LA Knight because Grimes liked his look.
To be honest, I liked these segments with
I did.
Grimes.
I really loved the segments too. The funny thing is, Grimes is a millionaire.
Yeah.
So there was trying to get a millionaire to be a butler is like trying to get I don't know,
Bruce not to bark.
Yeah.
Yes, Bruce, talking about you.
But yeah, it was hilarious and funny and like a good use of Grimes' character. It's like actually makes a change that they actually use someone's character properly.
Yeah, there's a few of these scattered throughout the program, but obviously this was the first of them.
Yeah. Then we had Fish versus Rust.
Yeah, off the Diamond Mine.
Which was a good match, but cut a bit short, to be honest.
Rust wins.
Yeah.
They attack Fish.
And Kushida comes out to the rescue. And even though they outnumber them, Diamond Mine walked away.
Mind games.
Minded.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, what I could see working is, being as there's been a tag team match announced next week, Kushida and Fish versus Roderick Strong and
Rust.
Is
it Rust? Yeah.
In a tag team match, yeah. What I could see is Fish turning on Kushida and Diamond Mine gaining a new member.
Oh, do you think he's going to copy what Roderick did with Undisputed?
Possibly. Because there's no reason why Roderick and Fish should be arguing, like storyline-wise. They could just be playing mind games, as you've said, and they could like turn it on Kushida.
Also, they were tag team champions together for quite a while as well when O'Reilly was injured.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then after that we had the Cross and Joe segment.
Yeah.
And funny and intense. Not necessary, but you know.
I got to say, I got fed up of the Joe segments in the show.
Yeah. It's just like, look, we have a previous main roster superstar on NXT, and we're going to use him every 20 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And then after this happened, thankfully, we got Saray versus Gigi Dolan.
You're missing something.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
What?
According to my notes, and I think you'd notice as well, Beth Phoenix and Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd mention this, considering the context of this bit. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Aaron really likes Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, but I'm just bored of Index.
Yeah, basically, I'll just make a long story short. Beth tells Indy to go for it with Dexter. That's pretty much what this was.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, then we had Ray versus Gigi Dolan.
Yes,
and
we had a visitor too.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a great debut for Gigi and a great win for Saray. But halfway through the match, Mandy Rose walked to the top of the ramp.
I think she got lost.
Yeah. I think she got bored of catering.
Yeah. I think she didn't remember which way it was to go to the Thunderdome and ended up in the
wrong turn on the like
and one of the roads on Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and we got like no word from Mandy Rose or anything on like what happens, but apparently she goes to NXT now.
Another tag team broken up. Hey, Dana Brooke, what are you going to do now?
I mean, we've seen Dana Brooke in solos competition, singles competition, and she's done well for herself. So if she does go on a singles path, then good luck to her. I mean, she deserves it. She's been in WWE for how long, and she hasn't had a major title shot yet. I don't think.
The thing with Dana, and we'll cover this very quickly because she's not really about this what we're talking about. We'll cover this. Dana suffered from the fact she got called up from NXT way too early in her career. She was not ready.
No, and she got brought up as a protege
to Charlotte.
Yeah. And sitting underneath that learning tree, especially with how long Charlotte herself had been on main roster, wasn't great. Especially being as Charlotte hadn't been on main roster long herself. Yes, she was a Flair. She still is a Flair. But she didn't have that main roster experience. She hadn't gone through the Hell in a Cell match yet. She hadn't gone through the Iron Woman Man match yet. She hadn't highlighted all those pay-per-views. She hadn't headlined WrestleMania yet. She herself was still fresh.
Yeah. If you're going to call up people
from NXT now and be mentored by her, then
yeah, it's different. Because back then, somebody like that should have been put with somebody like Mickie James.
Yeah.
Because Mickie had been there, done that.
Got the t-shirt.
And the music.
And the luchador mask.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. Well done. See how many people remember that one.
So yeah, if that was to happen now, then yeah, fine. But back then
yeah, and it really hurt Dana, and as a result, it's taken her a very long time to get to the point where she is now.
Yeah, and like you've got nobody to blame for that. But it's a WWE booking.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then after the Saray versus Gigi Dolan match, which was a hell of a match, by the way, like
yeah,
GG's for Gigi, because it was a good debut. But there was a Legado segment, which was basically just
blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and they slagged off Hit Row. And that led to something else happening later on. So then we had Dexter Lumis versus Santos Escobar. This was quite an entertaining and good in general match, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I'm biased for the whole Lumis fan club, but yeah, I liked Dexter's like moments in this match where he like made Santos like where he made Legado jump and he like scared them and shit. It was actually pretty like cool.
Yeah, I know you're his fan club, but also he lost.
I know he lost, but then the index thing happened afterwards where Indy Hartwell tried to carry him away and then they almost kissed and then Candice LeRae kicked Indy Hartwell out of the way.
Candice LeRae is a cock blocker. Confirmed.
Yes. And a silent cock blocker at that. But moving on. Then there was the face-off after this happening between Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, wake me up when this is over.
Nothing happened.
Basically, yeah. That's my point.
Are we going to get a match next week between both teams? If it happens, it happens. I'm down for that. Legado versus Hit Row, sure.
If they need to fill some time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 talented individuals on each team.
Yeah, the problem is it seems more like a thing to give them something to do rather than an actual feud.
I managed to say that with a straight face. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. So then we had the O'Reilly and Barrett segment, which was okay. O'Reilly talked about how he lost to Adam Cole last week.
Mm-hmm.
What else was really going to talk about, except the possibility of a grudge match. And I called this.
Yeah, and I don't want it.
I don't think many people actually do want it either. But if it's a 2 out of 3 falls loser leaves NXT, then I'm all for it because I want Adam Cole to lose and I want his ass out of here.
Baby.
Put him on main roster or just chuck him out. I'm sure there's room on the release list.
Main event.
Yeah, main event. Bruce is for that. Wait.
You do realize, of course, if you put him on the release list, he'd be out on there with Bobby Lashley's ladies, so he'd probably have a 30-day non-compete as well.
Oh, yeah, sure. Now you want to be on camera. So, yeah, there is that, I guess. But after the segment with that, we had...
there was a Grimes and Knight segment in there as well.
Yeah, and then we had the first round of the breakout tournament, which was Duke Hudson versus Ikemen Jaro.
Yes.
And a great debut for both men. But surprisingly, and I say this surprisingly because I don't know Duke, but I know Ikemen. Duke won.
Yes, he did.
And I was actually I was shocked, but I was actually quite happy because of the way the actual wrestling match went.
I would also say, though, in a breakout tournament, you want the people who you're not familiar with to generally go over because the whole point is to introduce new wrestlers.
Yeah. And I'd seen Ikemen fight before on 205 Live. I'm familiar with him wrestling. So I was like, okay, well, he's gonna win. Because I hadn't heard of Duke before. And then he won, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, not angry at this at all. Surprised, but not angry. And then we had the Robert Stone brand.
We had a Pete Dunne interview, by the way.
I kind of skipped it because it was just plain Dunne.
Yeah, but the reason I mention this is afterwards he was being stared at by Thatcher.
Yeah, and then he got hit by Ciampa. And the fight between Thatcher, Ciampa, Dunne, and Lorcan. Oh, and a little birdie tells me that Birch is going to be cleared very soon.
Yeah, he's very close.
Yeah. So,
but I liked the idea of Thatcher and Dunne. Basically, that was why I wanted to mention it. So,
I mean, he says he's the baddest man on NXT. No one better to prove it against than Thatcher or Tommaso for that.
or
matter.
or a fatal or a triple threat.
Yeah, I wouldn't be down. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could see Thatcher and Ciampa splitting up if that was to happen. And I don't really want that because I like Thatcher and Ciampa.
Yeah, but it's also in Ciampa's character to screw people over.
What would be really interesting if Thatcher screwed Ciampa over?
Yeah, it would be different.
It wouldn't be that different.
No, it'd be different because Ciampa's not the one screwing people over. That's what I mean by different.
Ciampa's Thatcher screwed people over before. I mean, look what happened to his last tag team partner.
But I'm talking about Ciampa here, not Thatcher. More people are familiar with Ciampa than they are Thatcher.
Yeah, this is true, but he's screwed over his last tag team partner.
I know what you mean. Yeah, Thatcher has a history of doing this too, but it's not as high profile as to what Ciampa did.
Last time he screwed over a tag team partner, he lost his teeth.
Yeah.
Of course, all credit in that goes to Matt Riddle. But anyway, the Robert Stone brand has officially broken down and is under new management. Aaliyah is gone.
And someone's gone missing. I wonder where they've gone.
Just gone.
Well, we'll give you a hint, people. Mandy Rose appeared and Aaliyah disappeared. You can do the math.
I really hope that Mandy hasn't gone to Robert Stone brand. Especially with Frank being the new manager of the Robert Stone brand.
I was going to get to that, yes. And at the end of this match, you had Frankie Monet come out.
Yep.
We should probably explain that Casey Catanzaro and Caden actually won this match.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear.
Yeah, and there was another Cameron Grimes segment after this. And
yeah.
Apart from when the kid didn't get paid, that was kind of sad. But that's typical $1 Million Man.
Everybody has a price.
Yeah, except for the kid because he didn't get paid. And then we had the Adam Cole segment, which was just boring.
Adam Cole, blah, blah, blah. Got confronted by Bronson Reed, though.
Yeah, and he got onto like a Samoa Joe segment as well.
Yeah.
And we was expecting Joe to come out, and he did eventually, but first, Bronson Reed came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really liked because it was different. And Bronson Reed said, I've got nothing left to lose. I've lost my championship. And I was just like, he has a point.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not against this happening. If Adam Cole gets squished in the process, I'm even more not against this happening.
Let's hope that's what happens.
But yeah, it was different.
Yeah, like different.
Yep. And then, of course, we had Joe come out because he was the guest referee in the Cross vs. Gargano match.
And that's pretty much how I felt. That's pretty much how I felt for most of this match. What you just did right there.
I mean, in my personal opinion, it was a great match. It was completely opposite to what we thought was going to happen. Because we thought that Cross was going to touch Joe. Joe was going to put Cross to sleep. Cross was going to lose his title thanks to Joe.
Yeah, but this is worse for Cross.
Yeah, this is worse for Cross. But I like the way it happened. And for those who don't know, Cross retained.
Yeah. Sorry, go on. I'll make my point in a minute.
And then put Joe to sleep as he was about to leave the ring.
I would point out that masterpiece of tacticianry was put in his head by Scarlett. That was not Cross's idea. You could see what was going on there. She was very clearly giving instructions to Cross. And this is also my regular cue for Scarlett Bordeaux needs to wrestle.
And I gotta say, I was all for it. I was happy. I was happy with the ending because it surprised me. It took me off of what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, Wasn't the worst thing in
Bad
the
news
world.
if your name's carrying across. Regal might need to want to look for a new head of security.
Well, here's the thing. Cross has broken the rules in place that means Joe can touch him. So that's Cross's fault right there.
Yeah, he's broken Samoa Joe commandments. 1, shall not provoke Samoa Joe. 2, you shall not touch thou Samoa Joe. And 3, go to main roster as soon as you do, because you don't want to find out what happens next.
Wendy!
Yeah, so if we find Cross passed out on the floor in the first next NXT, then we know what's happened. Joe
I could actually, not being funny, I could see them finding Scarlett unconscious.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe's mic work plus his no filter, especially if you remember his clash with AJ Styles. Oh, Wendy!
I've seen many of Samoa Joe's and AJ Styles' clashes over the years. The reason why I mention this is also it's like you can do off screen. You don't have to show it.
Stop it. Bloody coat hanger.
And it'll be very clear as to what's happened.
You're not having the coat hanger. Totally don't have Bruce in a headlock. See? He's right here.
No, I can see him.
You're not having the coat hanger.
So, yeah, basically, yeah, it's one of those things. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And it's like you also don't have to show. You can work out what happened just by finding her.
Oh, no, because that means that WWE will do that. Oh, who attacked Scarlett?
Well, no, because everyone will know who it was.
It'd be funny if they did do that, and then it just Candice LeRae comes out and goes, "It was me."
Yeah, she thinks it's Johnny Gargano.
Mm.
Although to be fair, she's not Scott Bordeaux. Is not Aleister Black.
This is true.
No, mind you, Aleister Black's not Aleister Black anymore.
And you said that it would be backstage; it wouldn't be in a car park.
But I think it's like you could do, especially Joe's role as being like the head of security kind of thing.
And especially with Scarlett shouting at Cross to do it.
Yeah.
So he could say, well, she was just doing as she was told. And then put her to sleep. Also,
remember what the stipulations are. If somebody puts their hands on Joe, Joe can put his hands on you.
Yeah.
Technically, she aided and abetted.
Yeah. She provoked him.
Yeah.
Through carrying. So,
yeah.
Night, Scarlett. We'll get you a pillow.
Yeah.
Night, Joe.
But essentially, yeah, we'll find out what the results are of this next week, because obviously that was the end of the show.
I'm starting to get really tired of puppies. I don't even know what he's got now. He's tearing it apart. Excuse me.
No, it sounds like tissues of some kind. It's the regular. It's Bruce. What does he have?
Bubble wrap. And now part of a coat hanger. Oh well. It's not the 90s. That coat hanger wasn't used for anything special.
No. Although, speaking of things that's special, we'll get to it in a sec, but you need to give us an NXT grade.
I gave it a 6.
Yeah. I can see that.
I feel like it kind of underperformed with the segments and the fact that Xia Li and Raquel didn't have a real storyline build or anything like that. Yet we're having a championship match next week. There was a whole bunch of mini reasons. For the most part, if I was to give it a 7, it would probably be for the Grimes segments.
Yeah.
That's all I can say, really. And
I
the
was going to
surprise that happened during the actual show itself.
say, me personally, I thought the Seth Grimes sequence was the best part of the show.
Yeah. And like part of me would argue that Samoa Joe getting choked out was probably the best part too. Because it meant a whole load of things can happen now.
Right. Yeah, that's one of those things. It worked. It's good in a storyline context. Do I think it was probably the right thing to do? Probably not. But at least it made sense. Which I think is the important part. When you do something, make it as long as it makes sense and you can show us why it should make sense, then that's fine. Do I think it was the right thing to do? Personally, no.
Can you stop being a bin raider? Can't you be a Viking raider instead?
He could always go back to the Indies and be War Machine.
Should I just keep you here for the rest of the night?
That's not going to work.
He looks like a budget cut baby Yoda.
To an extent, yeah, I can see what you mean.
Except he has one lazy ear.
So does Yoda.
And he answers to the name Dick.
So do a lot of people.
Oh, if only we was moving on to SmackDown. Never mind.
We're not. Unfortunately, we're actually moving on to NXT UK, which is generally usually the best show.
It started off with the Dick's the Dick's son-in-law.
Yeah.
I mean, Triple H started off the show, which was a nice change. Then we had a press conference / contract signing thing.
Right. Just to cover this for those of you who are unaware, this was not a staged press conference. These were real journalists.
Yeah. I had to check up on that too.
No, I know they were because some of the journalists involved, I actually knew who they were. That's how I know.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting. It was kind of a change and something we don't very often see. It was quite an intense and emotional press conference as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I liked it, because when it comes to the entertainment side of things with WWE, they really mistake the word entertainment for it's funny.
As long as Vince is happy. As long as Vince is happy, basically, is what that actually means.
To go, oh my god, or holy crap. They never really put the emotion into it. Whereas in NXT UK, you get that emotion, you get that raw feeling.
Yeah, because Vince doesn't watch it.
Something like this actually does that and does it in spades. So it was a good start to the show.
Yeah, it's because Vince doesn't watch it, so they can do things like this. The only problem with this press conference, it's not the press conference itself, it's the unfortunate thing that follows it.
Yeah, the announcement that the match next week is no longer going to happen due to an injury Walter sustained to his hand.
Yeah, and that's a shame because I think the press conference would have really worked if this hadn't have happened. But with the match being suspended, I think it kind of damages the press conference. I mean, if you know this is going to happen, why would you still use the press conference?
That's the thing. I'm not sure that they knew that it was going to happen.
But these are pre-recorded programs.
Yes, but this is also one of the last pre-recorded programs. So I think they might be working up to having a live audience again. So they might have left it a couple of weeks.
My point is this segment would have been pre-recorded. The press conference thing.
But it could have been pre-recorded the day before.
But the point is they still would have known. Before it aired, they would have known and they could have pulled the press conference from the program. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
nothing to do with the press conference. The press conference was good. I liked it. But it was undone by the very fact the match isn't going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the only thing that really knocked down this week in NXT UK. Everything else was pretty much, it was actually really good. Nothing wrong with it at all, except for the fact that Walter and Dragunov's not going to be happening. But
To be fair, obviously, I would say, just to clarify, to be fair, injuries happen. Nothing you can do about it. Nobody's
and
fault.
if this injury actually causes Walter to lose the championship, then it could be like a big part of the storyline because it was to his hand, and they did say it was his hand, and
It is a hand injury.
Haven't been fight. Walter chops.
Yeah, I do know it's a hand injury. That I do know.
They mentioned it was a hand injury as well.
Okay.
Walter not being able to chop and his arsenal being mostly chops.
The thing is that I don't think they'll strip him of the belt because he's held it for like 800 odd days and he's defended it probably, 3 times?
Yeah. But he's defended it across seas as well, so.
Yeah, but my point is, over 800 days, he's not defended it enough times for he should still have it. That's my point.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a way to, like, stripping him off the belt and making him look unbeatable as well. Stripping him through injury. But he doesn't want to work stateside, and he's said that.
I don't blame him.
No. But moving on, we had a really good tag team match between Smith and Carter versus Tio Man and Raja. This took the grudge match to another level. It's like it was intense, it was heavy hitting, but Tio Man got the win via crossface. Which
there you go.
Then we had Amel versus Satomura for the
A-Kid.
Oh yeah, A-Kid saying that he wants Jordan Devlin in a Iron Man match, and that'll be the first Iron Man match on NXT UK.
Yeah,
once he's on NXT as well.
NXT UK it is, yeah. Not on NXT. NXT's had one.
Not recently though.
But it has had one. Is my point. NXT UK has not had one.
Yeah, so the first ever Iron Man match on NXT UK, and going off of the fight that A-Kid and Jordan Devlin had last time, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah. So then we had Amel versus Satomura for the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, I was expecting a squash match, to be honest, on Satomura's side. And it wasn't. Satomura retained, and still no sign of Kaylee Ray.
Well, I think they're trying to make Amel look good in this match, is why it was on a squash.
Yeah. But yeah, still no Kaylee Ray. Working on the milk carton design as we speak. And then obviously, as we've already touched upon, Walter versus Ilya 2 cancelled due to a backstage injury.
It wasn't a backstage injury. I actually know where this happened, by the way. It actually happened in a match. What was off doing an independent date, and he got injured doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But it is what it is. We're not going to have the match next week. Not probably the week after, but might happen in a couple of weeks' time. Ilya's still down for the contendership, so who knows?
Hey, look, Walter! I can do this. Look.
I'd love for him to come out and do that next week. Just do a segment like that. He said, "Look, Walter, I can also do this."
Look, Walter, and you can do stuff. Look, move.
Whee.
Look, Walter, look. Chop, Walter, chop.
Look, Walter, no hands. Smack.
There you go.
So I mean, I've got nothing against Walter, so I'm not gonna I'm not going to take the piss. Like, an injury or an injury, no matter where it is.
Oh,
and
no,
I wouldn't.
We're having a bit.
Up with him.
Yeah, we're just having a bit of fun here. We don't have an issue with either one of these guys. We think they're great. We're just having a bit of a laugh. We do that here.
Yeah. So, Mark Coffey versus Tyler Bate for the Heritage Cup was the main event.
Yeah, Bate was accompanied by Trent Seven, and Wolfgang came out of Coffey.
Yeah, so we had an equal round, which finished with a slap around the face by Mark Coffey to Tyler Bate for round 1. Round 2, Bate got the first fall with using a bit of his speed. Round 3, Coffey brought it level with a bit of a power game. Round 4, clear, and both were on Dream Street by the end of round 4. They literally knocked 10 bells of crap out of each other. Round 5, Bate got the final fall with the Tyler driver and a capoeira kick. I mean, it was quite an amazing round match. Definitely one of the best I've seen, to be honest, and a great show of respect at the end as well.
Yeah, very unusual ending to this match.
Especially with the Gallus and the Mustache Mountain history.
Yeah, but in wrestling in general, this is an unusual ending. For those who didn't see it, handshakes.
Yeah, not slap around the faces.
Yeah.
Or cheap shots.
Not unless you count a handshake as a cheap shot, I guess.
I mean, it depends where you're handshaking.
Yes, it does.
So, yeah, overall...
Yeah, Walter. Depends where you're handshaking.
Peace. Not peace. Peace. Yeah, NXT UK I gave a 9 out of 10 this week because it was great, except for the whole hand injury incident.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do anything about that, but yeah, I'm not surprised at that grade whatsoever.
Yeah.
This was easily the best show of the week. I don't really have a problem saying that because it clearly was, as far as WWE goes.
Yeah, and Tyler Bate versus Mark Coffey for the Heritage Cup Championship was probably match of the week, give or take, as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Matches. It was the best stipulated match of the week, let's put it that way.
Of WWE, definitely.
Yeah, WWE-wise. Then we've got to move on to SmackDown.
SmackDown, yeah.
Live audience.
Yeah. This is the first WWE thing with fans back, and you knew this was going to be how it started.
No chance. That's just what you got.
Vince McMahon, exactly right. Asking the fans, where have they been? It's like Vince doesn't know anything about the modern world.
Well, they haven't said he's got dementia. It's just like very silent and not public.
Quite possibly. Yeah. Although, in all fairness, I
look like 30 years older. Half the people I know have come out of lockdown looking like they've gained 10 years, and he looks younger. What has he done?
Less stress, I'm guessing. But I would say it was, regardless of my opinion of how Vince is, it's good to see that he's well and healthy. At least considering obviously what's been going on the last year or so. Because Vince is an old man, so he's quite vulnerable to such things, but apparently not that vulnerable.
He looks like he slept in a cryo chamber for the past 13 months.
He very well may have done.
Good to know they left the show just how he left it.
What, in a cryo chamber?
Yeah, on the edge. He'd probably wake up and see the amount of money that they've made for him with all the releases. He'd probably think that Triple H is the best stepson ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out, said 6 words, turned around and left. And I know he left because I was told that he generally left the arena after he had said those 6 words, and he went back.
Yeah, that is literally what he was there for, and then he went. Yeah.
He kicked off the show, said 6 words, left.
To be fair, if you own the company, you can do that stuff. Whether you should or not is another thing entirely, but you can.
If he does it again tomorrow night on Raw, then
I suspect you may see him tonight for us UK fans, and obviously this evening for anyone else. You may see Vince on Money in the Bank, basically, is my point. First pay-per-view in front of fans.
See, that I'd understand. SmackDown,
Well, SmackDown's now the flagship show, so it kind of made sense. Plus, first program in front of fans. And some symmetry for you long-time viewers out there. This episode of SmackDown came from Houston in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So it's the first one with fans back after the pandemic. Houston was also the location of the first live show with fans after 9/11 happened.
Happy accident?
It's weird symmetry, isn't it?
It is. Excuse me.
No worries. Aaron's just off to Samoa Joe, Bruce. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. He's about to Samoa Joe Bruce. Bruce is in trouble. He was in deep, deep trouble.
Night, night.
Oh, yeah.
Night, night. Night,
and he's got him. He's had a cookie in the clutch. He's going to put him to sleep.
Night. Ow! Don't bite me.
So, yeah, basically, the next thing that happened was in no particular order. Edge, the Mysterios, Reigns, and Usos eventually all ended up out in the ring.
Yeah. I like that there was no mic work by Roman, Heyman, or anything like that. They just got on with the show.
Yeah.
I was expecting a promo, and I was just like, they're not doing a promo. Thank God.
But it was completely pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue with this. I get what you mean, though.
The only thing that was good about this was Reigns and the Usos got the win over the Mysterios, because it kind of like solidates the fact that the Usos are facing the Mysterios at Money in the Bank for a reason. They're not just being handed it.
You know what's funny about that? And I'm going to touch upon this now. You've mentioned that match. When you get to the official listing of Money in the Bank matches, that match is not listed.
Right. Late announcement?
It's been a thing since this happened, and I checked earlier today, and it's still not listed on there on the official entries for pay-per-views. I'm sure it probably will happen, but it might end up being pre-show, I think.
Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe one of the Usos has got another DUI.
Ooh, burn. Do you mean he went so crazy?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, maybe that happened and they've had their final warning, so they've been stripped of the championship opportunity. I don't know. I don't read the American news. Don't know the headlines.
No, I'm sure the match will probably happen, but I think it might end up being pre-show, maybe.
Oh, that means I've got to watch the pre-show as well.
But for whatever reason, this is not listed. I can't find out why. I've checked.
Have you checked your sources?
Hmm?
Have you checked with your source?
Yeah, the ketchup said no.
What about the mustard?
He told me to ask Professor Plum.
Surely it should have told you to ask ranch instead. That's more of an American dressing.
True, but ranch and pizza doesn't go apparently.
Ranch and donuts go.
Where do they go would be my question.
Well,
It also depends on what kind of donuts, because what Americans call donuts and what we call donuts are not the same thing.
well, I'm talking about the sprinkled donuts, like the Homer Simpson kind of donuts.
American donuts, yeah, they're terrible. They're disgusting.
Like, if you have those and you dip them in ranch, they actually go together. I've tried it.
Probably does, to be fair, but I don't eat them. I think they're disgusting. I prefer British donuts. They're much nicer.
Yeah, I
For-
am the
for-
king
for
of the
me.
donut challenge in my household. I can eat a donut without licking my lips, like a British donut without licking my lips.
I can eat a whole bag of British donuts without licking my lips.
Yeah, so can I.
It's easy.
It's my partner that struggles, which is like entertaining to watch. But last time she did the challenge at her workplace, she did it with chocolate filled donuts.
There's a joke about her getting her mouth around big things. I'm just not going to touch right now.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did it with chocolate donuts, and she ended up throwing up because the chocolate donut got stuck in her throat. Because her work colleague said she had to do it the same way that he did it, and that meant putting the whole donut in her mouth without licking her lips and chewing it and everything. So she choked, basically.
Which not everyone can do, in all honesty.
I can fit 1.5 in my mouth.
Also, if you've got a really sensitive gag reflex, like some people do, it's almost impossible.
Yeah. It is. And I suggest we move on before I make the mistake of making something public that I shouldn't. So
let's not make that public.
Yeah. So
after this match, Seth Rollins.
I mean,
would you rather go back to the thing you don't want to make public, or do you want to talk about this?
I mean, the 7-8 segment was funny. That was it. But not as funny as the Sami Zayn segment.
True.
When Finn Balor returned, which shocked me because I had no idea. I didn't realize that he was coming back. They kept that really well quiet.
Not that quiet.
No, not that quiet. But I had no idea about his return until Thursday. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But generally, they kept it quiet.
The thing is with stuff like that, if I find out before it happens, I won't tell people because I don't like ruining people's surprises.
No, I don't tell other people either.
So I think that's not a good thing to do because some people like to be surprised, in which case, don't spoil it for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people out there that generally watch wrestling for the fun of it and not to critique it.
Yeah.
Which I do first. I watch it as a fan first, and then I rewatch it and take notes second.
Yeah,
so I watch from two viewpoints.
Yeah, for me, it's slightly different because I watch multiple different companies, so I can watch them all differently depending on what I'm doing.
I mean, I only watch two companies now. So I can say I'm in the same boat, kind of.
Yeah, I also keep track of like New Japan and Impact and MLW and stuff as well. So
see, I used to do that because like certain wrestlers wrestled there, but now they all wrestle in WWE, so I don't have to.
Yeah,
and now he's in AEW, and now I have to watch AEW.
Well, here's the thing, though, for those of you who didn't see the Impact show last night, there is a reason I'm mentioning this, by the way. They announced that there's a special event in October where multiple promotions are all going to be involved in the same pay-per-view.
Right.
New Japan,
Mm-hmm.
Impact, and AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I mean, if them three join forces, and I mean properly join forces, WWE can kind of kiss their fan base goodbye.
They already have an agreement in place with both companies, but this is like an actual pay-per-view thing where they're going to have matches and stuff.
I hope WWE don't try and put on a pay-per-view that same weekend because they will be blown out of the water.
It's sometime in October. I can't remember exactly. It's also going to take place in Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm abroad. I'm on holiday in October.
I don't know when in October. I didn't catch the date, but I know it's in October.
Fuck. Babe, can we rebook the holiday? No, that won't go down well.
No, not if you tell her why.
Oh, I'm sure Turkey's got cable.
Oh yeah, you'll probably be able to find these things out there.
Yeah, I mean they're ahead in time zone as well, so I might be able to watch it. Actually, no,
Yeah,
I'm up later to watch it. Oh,
yeah, it's like 2-3 hours or something. They're ahead by
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means I'd have to stay up until like 5 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
Yeah, but when we get to that point in October, we'll discuss all that stuff then. But yeah, but my point being is when it comes, because obviously I see things like that in all these other companies, so I get to see a lot of these things. So how I look at these companies is different for that very simple reason. But the point is, there was a thing last night for the Impact thing. There was a lot of surprises on their pay-per-view. I knew most of them. Did I tell anyone? No. Because it ruins it for them if they know. And I don't like spoiling surprises.
No one likes surprises being spoiled.
Yeah, I'm also not going to mention it now because this happened literally last night, so people may not have seen it yet. So I'm not going to go into details to what they are. But if you're an Impact fan, watch the pay-per-view. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that.
And Scarlett Bordeaux needs to wrestle.
And she did there for quite a while.
That's why I said it.
Yes. So for those of you who actually want to watch Scarlett Bordeaux actually wrestle, because WWE seems to not to do it, there's the Impact Plus app. Go check it out.
Yeah, so Finn returned. Coup de grace, Sami Zayn. Why he targeted Sami Zayn, don't know. But yeah. And then we had Shotzi and Nox versus Tamina and Natalya again.
Yeah.
This should have been for the tag titles, but it was just a rematch. So it didn't make sense.
This is my issue.
Please tell me what a championship contenders match is. Because if it was a number 1 contendership match, then it would have been against other tag teams. But are there any other tag teams in SmackDown? I
would assume championship contender will be if you beat the champions, you then get a shot at the title, which to me is a bit silly. I mean, you're already facing the champions.
That's right.
Right.
Beat the champs last week.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. This made no sense at all.
But yeah, anyway, they won again. Made the champs look like chumps. Because WWE love doing that.
The champions, yes.
Zelina and Liv on commentary made sense because obviously the Money in the Bank match.
Oh, that shit needs to stop.
But yeah, that does need to stop. Yeah. Like, I've got nothing really much else to say about that. Then we had Carmella versus Bianca Belair.
Yes.
Good match. Great win for Bianca over Carmella. Nothing really much else to say except who's facing Bianca next.
Let's be honest. You expected Bianca to win this.
Mm-hmm.
Carmella put in a good showing for herself. And yeah, it's a simple case of she's had to replace Bayley late on and she's done a good job. Simple as that.
Bayley had her surgery as well this week.
Yes, and she's still blaming all the fans.
Yep. loving the heel work even while she's on the injured list.
That's it. Yes, way to go, baby.
So then we had the Alpha Academy segment with Cesaro.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but I don't like the fact that they're kind of feeding Cesaro to the Alpha Academy.
It is a bit weird. I do like the fact it did lead to a match, though. So at least that made sense. But him being with the Alpha Academy is a bit weird.
Yeah, but if this match was already going to happen, why did they need Cesaro in the segment?
Time filling.
Yeah, I guess. But like, the squash match turned sideways because Gable caused the DQ.
Yeah.
And then Cesaro got squashed.
Yeah, the match, by the way, was Cesaro against Otis, just to be clear.
Yeah. And it ended up being not even 5 minutes long.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, is a good Otis match.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he can't hurt anyone in 5 minutes, hopefully.
And then moment of the night happened when...
Are you on about Heyman?
Big E segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funniest moment of the night. I didn't take too kindly to the next segment either.
This was bad.
This was a piss take.
This is probably the worst thing on all the shows this week.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. It struck a nerve with me, like, 'cause it kind of felt like they took a shot at people who fundraise.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, I fundraise. That's literally my job and what I do on a daily basis. I fundraise because I can't work. Case in point. But yes, Baron Corbin's special request segment was a recap of his bad luck and GoFund.Corbin. What the fuck? Honestly, what the fuck? This was like a kick in the pants to anybody who's made a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people out there who've got just giving pages, GoFundMe pages, Indiegogo, whatever it may be, who have done some good stuff, raised money for a lot of worthwhile causes, off of like help people pay medical bills, stuff like that. And then you've got this dipshit taking the piss out of it.
And I've got like 13 GoFundMe pages going right now for 13 different charities over 13 months.
Just
so
giving.
For this guy to take a cheap shot fucking pissed me off. I was just like...
You might want to be clear about that. It's just giving.
Yeah, just giving. Like... Oh, it made my skin crawl.
Yeah, this was not good. I mean, obviously the whole point of this was to get Kevin Owens to come out here and give him a stunner afterwards, and it's supposed to be funny, but it wasn't.
No, I mean, like, I've watched WWE for a very, very long time, near on a decade, and I've never been hurt by something that WWE have done before, as I was by this segment, and it generally pissed me off.
Also, WWE anti-bullying, be a star.
Yeah. Like, what the actual... But
yeah.
If Corbin wrote this...
Which I suspect he didn't.
Like, fair play to him if he wants that much hate on him. But I don't think he did. And if he gets fucking mullered for it by WWE fans, then I wouldn't be surprised. And it's gonna affect him negatively as much as it's gonna affect other people.
Well, here's the thing when it comes to wrestling, for those who don't know all the necessary ins and out terms. There's heat, which as a bad guy you want to get. But then there's different types of heat. There's heat, there's nuclear heat, there's heel heat, there's go away heat, and there's fuck off heat.
This is fuck off heat.
Yeah.
And this will probably like make you unhireable in quite a few places too.
Judging from the way some of the other companies work, if he ever ends up having to get another work for another wrestling company, he may have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Although I do suspect Corbin probably will be a lifer, but you know. But at the same time, I don't think he's probably to blame for this. I suspect this is very much out of the mind of Vince McMahon and the creative team and a bunch of writers.
No, I agree. But at the same time, I've said it like twice already. What the fuck?
Yeah. In all fairness to Corbin, he has a job he's supposed to do. He did it to the best of his ability, which is what he's supposed to do.
If they run with this on a weekly basis, I'm just going to stop watching his segments.
Yeah, this is the issue you're going to have. If it ends up repulsing people like it's doing to Aaron, that's a problem.
I will literally turn SmackDown off if they like start off with like a Baron Corbin segment next week. I won't watch the show.
Yeah. I'll give an example. Obviously, it's not a WWE one. Every time I see Don Callis, skip! Because he literally just irritates me.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with anything he says or he does. It's just him as an actual person just annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah. The only up from this was KO stunning him. I was just like, well, thank you.
Which, in fairness to KO, his character would do this. This makes sense at least.
Yeah.
But it's dumb, and let's not have it happen again.
No. I mean, yeah, let's just move on. Otherwise, I'm just going to rant the fuck out of this.
Okay. Fatal 4-way.
No.
Let's just get it away from Corbin, okay?
I was surprised Rollins won this.
Yeah, this match was Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Big E, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Kingsuke Nakamura.
You can call him that. I'm calling him Shinsuke.
Boogs called him Kingsuke, so.
Again, I'm calling him Shinsuke, so that.
No, I don't have a problem with that. But, yeah, Rollins won thanks to a stomped Big E on the ladder. Like, ouch.
Yeah, I wonder why it was a ladder.
TLC next week?
Maybe next month?
Maybe.
That might also explain why he climbed that ladder and did the thingy.
Yeah, that too. But,
yes, we are taking the piss, to be very clear, people. We are very well aware of why this happened.
I was so angry about the whole Corbin thing that when I was writing my notes, I put Steph collected the briefcase instead of Seth collected the briefcase.
Steph Rollins.
Yeah.
Okay, we can call. That's what we'll call him from now on, Steph Rollins.
I could make comments, but I'm not going to.
You probably shouldn't. So
no. Yeah. So yeah, they collected the brief. He collected the briefcase. And yeah, that ended SmackDown. Thankfully.
Yeah. Which now has to have a grade. I wonder what grade this is getting.
It was doing really well until the Corbin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had it at like a 5, heading to a 7. Corbin thing aside, 6. But with Corbin thing, 2.
See, I knew it'd be something like that. That's the issue when you have something that damaging on a show. It will damage the person's enjoyment of everything that follows and everything they've seen.
Yeah, I I don't even want to watch SmackDown this week. Because if it happens 2 weeks in a row, I will just stop watching.
That'd be an interesting review show.
I'll just let you review SmackDown. I'll do Raw, I'll do NXT, I'll do NXT UK, and like you can have your say.
I'll tell you what. When it comes to the SmackDown thing, if that happens, I will reenact the Corbin promos and the whole go fund Corbin stuff for you, because I know you would have missed it. Yeah, he looks really impressed by it, doesn't he, people? But anyway, before he gets more depressed, Money in the Bank predictions.
Before you said more depressed, fuck.
Yeah, Corbin's going to do it again on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Probably do it on the pre-show. I'm kind of joking, but not.
Well, I've always got Minecraft on my Xbox. I can sit up and play that instead.
Sure. And, you know, if you're going to do that, you can always do a stream.
Yeah. So if I go live during the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, it's because...
We know why. Okay, right. I officially have a list of 8. Yeah, 8 matches. And yeah, the Usos Mysterio match has actually just been added to the list I have. So yeah, it's literally just appeared.
No last minute DUIs then.
And it is a pre-show match.
It is a pre-show match.
Uh-huh.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, wait, so basically...
Usos versus Mysterios is pre-show?
Yes.
AJ Anonymous versus Viking Raiders isn't pre-show?
It's on the main show, yes.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bruce.
Oh, don't worry, I'm with you both too. I think it's fucking stupid.
So you got 2 legitimate tag teams on the pre-show and 1 legitimate tag team and a hired Colossus and his tag team partner in the main show.
I would say, to be fair, pre-shows are supposed to get people to entice to actually buy the pay-per-view and to watch it. So it would make sense to have the better tag match on the pre-show.
Put an Intercontinental match, championship match in the pre-show. Put an open challenge and have the return of Finn Balor face Apollo.
That's actually a good point. Apollo's not on the card, so you could have had that. Yeah. Well, Sheamus can't compete. Sheamus can't compete. He has a boo-boo.
But he's well enough to get in the ring and broke kick Carrillo.
Yeah, but Carrillo's different.
Carrillo's breakable.
He's what, sorry?
Generation. He's breakable.
All right, yeah. Yeah, so basically the pre-show match is Team Mysterio versus...
I'll just be a second. I just heard something out in the back garden and there's been some robberies recently, so...
No worries, you go check it out. So yeah, the pre-show match will be Team Mysterio versus the Usos, and obviously Jimmy and Jey Uso haven't been a team for a while because obviously various reasons. Both have been out for injuries. Also, Jey's been doing his singles thing as well. So we're going to be back together for this tag team title match. I would say they clearly didn't earn it. So the question, of course, will be, will it be Mysterio, Uso? Ooh, guys and girls, looks like we're going for a trip. Do, 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 do. Ooh.
I'm back.
Yes. And in a new location.
Yeah, my mum just came back and decided to bring with her a crying newborn baby and her new fella and two of our neighbours. So
Yeah, we saw a few of them. We saw a few people flash by the camera. So.
Yeah, and I started hearing noises in the back garden and went out to check that out, and someone's broken into our shed.
Lovely.
Yeah, welcome to Kent.
Yeah.
So, Money in the Bank predictions.
Yeah. So the Usos, who didn't earn a title shot, against Team Mysterio, who are the tag team champions.
I'm going to say Usos.
Yeah, I think most people probably will, in all honesty.
Mm.
Obviously, bear in mind it's the first time they're tagging for a long time due to various injuries they've both had.
Yeah.
But I suspect you're probably right.
Mm-hmm. What's
so?
Next?
Well, on the order I have here, and this is the list I have in me, I don't think this will be how they happen on the night, but I'm just going to do it this way. Men's Money in the Bank match. Ricochet, Morrison, Riddle, McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, Nakamura, Seth Rollins.
I think Drew.
Yeah.
Because
it's kind of sad and depressing to think that probably is going to be Drew. And unfortunately, it's not Drew's fault, it's just how bad he's been used.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for my more optimistic and happy self and go for Big E, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I reckon Drew, but if I was to hope for anybody to win, I'd say probably Ricochet.
Yeah, not mad at that either. Ricochet's a good shout.
No.
So, I would say though, in all fairness, the men's Money in the Bank match has got some very talented. It's got a lot of good talent in this match, so it'll be interesting just to see the match anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely better talent than's in the women's one, which is what's next.
I reckon that the women's one first. I reckon that'll be the first Money in the Bank, first match of the pay-per-view.
If we're predicting order, then yeah, I suspect you're probably right. But we will see. Obviously, the first thing's the pre-show match, but after that, normally you do have a Money in the Bank match fairly early on, and then the other one is later. So you might be wrong, but the women's one is Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Ash, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Natalia, and Tamina, who was announced late because it was a TBA thing until literally until yesterday.
And I think that it'll be either Nikki Cross or Liv Morgan because the way they've hyped both of the two of them up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyone else, don't care.
Yeah,
Maybe
those two at least.
because she deserves it after the way WWE have treated her. But
Oh no! She doesn't. She don't deserve shit. I'll get onto Zelina Vega in a minute.
Okay then.
All right. Once we do the predictions, I'm going to talk about Zelina Vega. All right. Since you brought it up.
Okay.
All right. I'm with you, Nikki or Liv, but I think it'll probably be Nikki.
I want, though, in this match, I want Alexa to reach for the briefcase, the lights to go out, the lights to come back on, and the Fiend to be on the opposite side of the ladder staring her in the face.
I've got one for you.
And then the lights go back out and they're both gone.
Alexa reaches for the suitcase, lights go out, lights come back on, and there's a pig. Yeah, I think that's just as likely as the Fiend, in all honesty. But to be fair, I like your idea. I just don't. Basically, my response is what I told you. That's how likely I think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up is Bobby Chuckles defending against Kofi Kingston.
I call Bobby on this. As much as I want Kofi Kingston to win, I think Bobby retains. Especially after his I've had enough segment on Raw. It just seems like that would be for absolutely no reason if they didn't give him the win here.
Okay, I'm going to swing at the ballpark. Do I think I'm going to be right with what I'm saying? Probably not, but I'm still going to say it. Kofi wins, and MVP's the reason why.
I like the plot twist.
Whether it's intentional or not, I think MVP cost Lashley the match.
Yeah, and then, yeah, possibly.
I think it's more creatively rewarding because Lashley can then really snap and go mental.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I can see it happening, but maybe take that plot just one step further. MVP tries to cost him the match and doesn't, and then we end up having an MVP versus Lashley feud.
That works too. Again, it's another opponent from down the line, so it gives you more time to work on something. Yeah, it's not the worst idea.
So yeah, I think Lashley, you're going with Kofi.
Yeah, just because I want to do something different. Plus, I want to see Kofi. I want to see Kofi have the belt again, and it'd be a worthwhile reign instead of the Brock Lesnar debacle.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, out of all the cards we've had during the Thunderdome era, I find like this one the most appealing because this is Money in the Bank.
Also,
we're having 2 Money in the Bank matches. There's no other stipulation matches here.
Also, not Thunderdome thing. It's people.
Yeah, obviously the people part of it as well, but there's no other stipulated matches here. There's no
other gimmick matches going on. Yeah.
Yeah, because like WWE don't feel the need to put them on because they have a live audience again.
Yeah. There you go. Next up, AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders.
I want the Viking Raiders to win. I don't care.
I don't care either, but I think AJ and Omos are winning.
So I think they will too.
Yeah.
But I want the Viking Raiders to win.
I know. I'd be happy if you're right, but I don't think you're going to be.
Yeah, I'm just bored of the Raw tag team titles right now.
Yeah.
I want an actual tag team to have the titles.
That would be a good idea. All right. Raw Women's title. Charlotte Flair challenging Rhea Ripley.
Again, don't care.
Yeah. I don't care either. Unfortunately, Charlotte.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's gonna win as well.
Yeah.
I want Ripley to retain.
Yeah.
Challenger, for Christ's sake. It's getting boring.
What I would say, bear in mind, we know Sasha's cleared to return, and apparently Becky's not far off either.
Yeah, there's one thing with the Sasha return. She is branded SmackDown, and she owes Bianca a rematch.
Draft.
Yeah, and also Becky Lynch never lost the Raw Women's Championship. She gave it to Asuka.
Right.
So that would be a championship that Becky would want to go.
But this is also why a lot of people thought she'd be the TBA in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
But she wasn't because she hasn't been cleared yet.
Yeah. So there you go.
Unless Tamina gets injured mysteriously, and then there's the last minute add to the match tonight.
Or Liv Morgan gets stuffed up backstage, you know.
Yeah, either.
Yeah. Because the Money in the Bank match, it doesn't matter which brand you're on, because both brands are represented in this match.
Yeah, and we both know how WWE like change things on card last minute. 2019 Brock Lesnar, anyone? Remember the big Money in the Bank briefcase with the Beast in the Booth box? Yeah.
No, I don't remember it at all. Yeah. Let's see, what do we have left? Oh, only one left to go. It's Edge challenging Roman Reigns. Gee, I wonder who's winning this match.
Edge. No, I can't do it. Yeah.
I was wondering how long you told that out. We all know it's Roman.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I want to say Edge wins.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna go with out the ballpark thing and say that Edge wins.
Yeah, you can do that. It's absolutely fine.
And I'm gonna say that Jimmy costs Roman the win, or Heyman costs Roman the win, and then Brock comes out afterwards.
Yes, I was going to say that. Do you think that might lead to a Brock appearance then?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because that's one way to make a big splash on the first People Field pay-per-view.
Yeah. Which does lead us to the next thing, of course. Obviously, these are the matches, but I was going to give you
Brock Lesnar's new look.
Yeah, I'm all right with it. I don't mind.
No, I'm not against it either, but he kind of looks like he swapped looks with Otis.
Yeah, you tell Brock that. Go on.
I would, but he's in Las Vegas, so I can't.
Yeah, you go tell Brock that. Go on.
But Otis can take it as a compliment.
Yeah, to Otis it is a compliment, but if you're taking the Mickey and you want to take the Mickey to Lesnar, you go do it. Go on.
No, it is though. They've given him Otis's like beard and ponytail.
Brock's always had that beard. I've seen him with that beard before. The hair's the new part of that look.
Yeah.
See, and I don't have an issue with it. Although I'd love to see the first person who actually really goes up to him and go and says it's a man bun and see what happens.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody go up to him and say, "Oh, see if you following the Conor McGregor trend now."
What, is he going to break his ankle as well?
No, because Conor McGregor had a man bun first, didn't they?
Yeah, Conor McGregor also broke his leg at the weekend.
Yeah, my brother put money that Conor McGregor would win, and I said, "Yeah, Conor McGregor's losing this." He said, "No way, Conor McGregor won't lose for 3 times in a row to the same person." I was like, "Yeah, he's gonna lose."
Well, breaking your leg pretty much means you're fucked in UFC. So.
Yeah.
Well, breaking his ankle to be more precise for those of you who want to be precise.
I'm of the opinion, and I know this is a WWE podcast, but I'm of the of the opinion that Conor McGregor should just retire now. He's done enough.
You're going to probably speak about Conor McGregor. He's had interactions with WWE wrestlers, so it's fine. You can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that Conor McGregor should retire. He's done enough in UFC. If he wants to go to WWE or AEW, see what he can do there, but just, I think, leave UFC alone. You've done your money's worth in there.
I do think
the fire that he used to have.
I do think he would be a very good wrestler.
Yeah, I do as well. And under 205 as well.
Yeah, you can imagine they put him on 205 live.
Could you imagine him versus Riddle in a match?
Yeah, but here's the...
And Riddle as a tag team.
Yeah, but not being funny, they would put him on 205 live because he makes the weight limit.
Yeah, but I can see him turning around and telling Vince to fuck off if they think he's going to go on a 205 show. But to be honest, he'd make 205 relevant again. He'd make people want to watch it.
That's kind of my point.
Why are we even discussing this? It's not like he's ever going to come to WWE anyway.
You never know. Weird shit happens in the wrestling world.
Yeah, you might want to go on Twitch and clip that and save it for when he makes his debut in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, but as I said, weird shit happens in the wrestling world. I mean, look at some of the things that have happened over the past couple of weeks. And also, there was also some weird shit happened yesterday as well. I'm not going to elaborate upon that. Well, that was because it was on the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, and I'm not spoiling that for people. All I'm going to say is there was some surprises.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they were when we're off air, but I'm not saying it when there's people listening.
I was hoping to head to the co-op and grab some snacks before the pay-per-view, but I'm just going to have to raid my mum's cupboard.
So there we go. But yeah, we have actually now covered everything, which is cool, and done our predictions, and Aaron's letting us know what he plans to do leading up to the pay-per-view. Obviously, we know what's going to happen if there's a Corbin Fumby thing. Aaron's just going to start streaming Minecraft.
Yep.
So what you guys can do is obviously also, as well as helping Aaron with his streaming, like this thing here, this page here, the link's in the description for the YouTube people. You may see him on this channel in a bit if Corbin starts doing that GoFundMe crap.
Yep.
But of course, the main thing Aaron does is this thing here, which is his Just Giving charity page, which for this month is two charities. It's the British Heart Foundation, and I can't remember what the other one is because I always forget the other one. I can't remember why I've done. Anyway, yeah, Aaron, this is Aaron's job, so Aaron can tell you.
Oh, well, yeah, this month I'm doing a Red Hair Month for the British Heart Foundation. I'm also doing Sing for Support, so if you donate anything over a $5, you get to choose a song and I cover it. Please be sensible with the suggestions, though, as it is for charity. And, yeah, that's pretty much all that's happening this month. Next month I'm doing a Sponsored Silence from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Well, I won't affect this program, fortunately.
No, it won't affect this program, and I'll have even more to talk about. So,
oh yeah, bottled up all day. Yeah, you can imagine having that Sponsor Silence and you're watching SmackDown and that Corbin shit comes on.
I'll just lock my phone and throw it to the side and just look at my mum in complete and utter dismay. She'll ask me what's wrong, and I have to get my pen out and jot it down on the pad and turn it around to her. At which point she probably won't have her glasses on, so she'll have to fuck around trying to get her glasses on just to read it. By which time I've put it down and just left the room anyway. Every
parent and child interaction in the world right there.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it for Sponsored Silence.
There you go. So that's next month's charity, Sponsored Silence, which is for who? Who would that be for?
Child's Vision, which is a charity that works with children who have been victims of child abuse and molestation.
Okay, so that's next month's charity, which obviously starts from the 1st of August.
Yep.
Obviously, before then, we are British Heart Foundation, where Aaron will sing for your supper, basically, as long as you give him a donation of £5 to do so.
Yep.
All donations are obviously cheerfully accepted to the Just Giving page, links down below. And just before we quickly go, I will do the network stuff because I have to. There's the Patreon to help support us here, guys.
Oh,
Link subscription
and
below.
another thing that I was talking about last week, but didn't say about because I had the announcement planned for last Monday. I have merch now. I have Caring with Colours merch.
Yes.
You can find that on my stream links if you come and watch me stream. I'm always shouting out the merch link.
I will be adding that link to the show when we finish. I didn't do it beforehand just in case there was any issues with that page. I wanted to make sure it was all right first.
No, I made my first tenner this week on the merch. It's actually sold pretty well. I sold 4 mugs, a t-shirt, and a sticker. So in the first week on its own. So, and the merch actually 10% of all profits from the merch go to the charity for the month that the merch is purchased on too.
There you go, people. So always makes it worthwhile. So you can check it out. I'll be adding that link to the YouTube description once we're done. So if you're watching this on delay, it'll be in there. Okay. Also, we have a Twitter for the network as well. We also have an Instagram for the network as well. There we go. Right. So Aaron's going to stay up tonight and watch Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Probably the rest of the British public are going to do the same thing because it's too bloody hot.
Probably.
So, but I am actually going to try and sleep because I've had a very long weekend. So, there you go. Marriages and weddings and other such fun things.
Sorry.
It's all right.
My mum's come back and I think she's drunk, so she's going to try and get me drunk with her.
Well, considering it might help when it comes to that Corbyn shit.
Drinking to forget is my specialty. Well, one of them.
Raising money for charity is another one.
It is indeed.
So, is there anything else we need to plug, shill for anything? I've recovered everything.
No, I think that's everything. Also, obviously, like Instagram and stuff, go follow me on Caring with Colours.
Yeah, it's usually some version of
that.
Yeah. If you can't find it, just go to the stuff for the network. I'm pretty sure we're following those pages, so you can just find it from who we're following.
Yep.
If all else fails.
To the Instagram as well on my Twitch channel. So if you follow the link to the Twitch, it's a panel that says socials, which will lead you to my social media.
Yeah, obviously anyone who's watching us on Twitch will probably be quite easy to find, so because obviously you're used to Twitch. Otherwise, links in the description will help you get to places.
Yep.
So 4 mugs and a t-shirt, yeah?
And a sticker.
And a sticker.
And I got my merch sent out as my merch, which is like my own merch. So like I can show people what it looks like, wear it on stream and stuff. I got that sent out as well, which is part of the deal with the merch thing. That
is a good thing to be able to do for obvious reasons.
Yeah, they sent me out a free t-shirt and a free sticker. But if I want a hoodie, I have to pay for one. So I'm going to wait a month, then buy the hoodie because I'm a bit short on funds at the moment.
What about the dress?
No dresses at the moment, but I'm working on a baby grow.
Adult baby grow or actual baby grow?
The adult baby grow is not a bad idea.
Technically, it's a onesie. Yeah, but technically that's a onesie. So
yeah, onesie would be cool, but just not in this heat.
No, for those of you who are not in the UK, particularly England, it is bloody hot here today. And it's still hot now because earlier on it was like 32 degrees. And now, for those of you who are not here, it's 20 past 11 in the UK. It's still 22, and this is Celsius. So if you want to convert that to Fahrenheit, you're talking the 80s something.
It's 24 here, Peter.
Yeah, I'm talking about where I am.
Yeah, but it's 24 here, so it's hotter here than it is there.
Yeah, but it was hot here during the day, so ha ha ha. We got up to 32 here, so.
I don't care. I'm a vampire. I only come out of night times.
And in certain situations.
Isn't that just the truth?
Yeah. Yeah, that particular joke is staying in the house. We're not elaborating on that one. If people want to ask Aaron about that on his Twitch at some point, you go for it, see what he says. Otherwise, you don't find it.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a nice evening, everyone.
Yes, let's wave goodbye to the people.
Take care. Don't forget to like and share.
Yeah, and don't forget, just go fund Corbin. Aaron will love you for it.